What if I told you that building massive, deep AI networks was practically impossible for years, all because the math kept shrinking to zero? Well, today we fix that with one simple line of code. Welcome to Yurix AI. This is lecture 22 of LLMs from scratch, Zero to Builder. And our learning objective today is to master the shortcut connections that actually keep deep neural networks learning. Okay, let's dive right into this. We have 6 quick steps mapped out for our explainer today. An introduction to shortcut connections, the vanishing gradient problem, the mechanism and its math, the effect on the loss landscape, coding shortcut connections, and finally, gradient flow with versus without shortcuts. So, moving right along to section 1, introduction to shortcut connections. We're adding a really crucial building block to our GPT architecture today. Think of it as the architectural glue binding our previous components together. So in previous sessions, we mapped out layer normalization, activation functions, and feed-forward neural networks. Today, it's all about shortcut connections. Now, you'll also hear these called skip connections or residual connections. Basically, they're alternative paths in a neural network that literally let information and gradients flow by skipping right over one or more layers. It's kind of fascinating, honestly, because these were originally discovered over in the field of computer vision to solve a massive training bottleneck. But today, they've evolved to become the absolute heartbeat of large language models. Which brings us to section 2, the vanishing gradient problem. To truly appreciate these shortcuts, we kind of need to look at the core villain they were engineered to defeat. Let's make sure we're all on the same page here first. During AI training, learning flows backward from right to left in a process we call the backward pass. Essentially, we calculate the errors at the very end of the network, the output, and propagate those errors backward to the input. And during this pass, we calculate the gradient. Put simply, a gradient is just a numerical update signal. It tells the network's weights how to change and adapt so the AI, actually learns something. But here's the massive problem. I want you to imagine this backward pass as a giant game of telephone. The final layer, it hears a strong, clear error signal. But as it whispers that message backward to the previous layer, the signal shrinks. It gets completely distorted by mathematical multiplications. By the time that message passes through layer 3, into layer 2, and finally reaches layer 1, the signal has vanished almost completely to zero. The first person in line literally hears absolutely nothing. And because the earliest layers receive no signal, their weights just don't update. Learning stagnates entirely. It's a total roadblock. All right, let's fix that in section 3, the shortcut connection mechanism and its math. So, how exactly do we fix this game of telephone? The solution is just incredibly elegant. Instead of forcing the layers to whisper down the line sequentially, we just give the preceding layers a direct hotline. Mathematically, our chord equation becomes output equals f of yl plus yl. In plain English, we're taking the output of a previous layer and literally just adding it to the current layer's output before moving on. Let's break down why this simple addition is so unbelievably powerful. In standard backpropagation, the chain rule dictates that we multiply gradients backward. And as we all know, multiplying fractions makes them smaller, which shrinks our gradients. However, by adding the previous output to the current one, the derivative of that addition creates a literal +1 in our backpropagation math, and this brilliantly illustrates how we save the network. That +1 acts as an absolute mathematical safety net. Even if the rest of the multiplied gradient calculation shrinks all the way down to 0, that +1 ensures the gradient keeps flowing backward. It just never hits 0. And this brings us to our main takeaway today. Shortcut connections let gradients skip past layers so very deep networks can still learn. If that just clicked, hit the like button. Let's see what that looks like visually in section 4, effect on the loss landscape. Now that the math makes sense, let's map out this mathematical magic. A loss landscape is basically a visual representation of how well the AI is learning. Think of it as a 3D terrain that our neural network is hiking across. The valleys equal low error. This is the target destination, where our AI is highly accurate. On the flip side, the jagged peaks equal high error, which we obviously want to avoid at all costs. When we compare these terrains side by side, the difference is just staggering. Without shortcut connections, the landscape is an absolute nightmare. It's jagged, it's spiky, and it's full of dead-end valleys known as local minima. The network gets trapped and stops learning completely. But with shortcuts, the landscape smooths out entirely. It becomes this clean, bowl-like shape, making it incredibly easy for the optimizer to just slide right down to the correct answer. Deep networks were stuck for years, until residual connections, surprised it was this simple. Pause and drop your answer in the comments. Okay, let's move on to section 5, coding shortcut connections. Let's see how this actually builds in code using PyTorch. Setting this up in Python is beautifully straightforward. You're going to love it. First, we structure a standard 5-layer deep neural network using PyTorch's nn.sequential module. Next, we establish a dynamic configuration flag right in our class initialization, setting use_shortcut equals true. Then, during our forward pass, we iteratively loop through each layer to pass the data forward. And here is where the magic happens. Inside that loop, if our shortcut flag is true, we invoke this single magic line of code, x equals x plus layer_output. This one simple line of code is the entire mechanism. It accumulates the input tensor with the computed output of the current layer. It preserves the gradient by essentially forcing the network to remember and pass forward the raw information it already learned. Finally, let's look at section 6, gradient flow with versus without shortcuts. Let's prove the real-world effectiveness of our code with some hard numbers here. We ran a backward pass on our 5-layer network and captured the mean gradient at each layer. Now, what's really interesting about this data is the drastic difference when we reach layer 1. In the model without shortcuts, layer 4 starts at 0.05, but by the time we hit layer 1, it has decayed all the way down to just 0.002. But look at the model with shortcuts. Layer 4 starts strong at 1.32, and by layer 1, the gradient is sitting at a very robust 0.22. To recap this profound difference, without shortcuts, the gradient shrinks to a vanishingly small 0.002. Those earliest layers are basically paralyzed. With shortcuts, the gradient stabilizes at a healthy 0.22. By simply outing the previous output, our connections increase the gradient magnitude by over 1,000 times. We completely and permanently solved the vanishing gradient problem. So, the crucial point here is that these shortcuts cure the vanishing gradient problem. They create smooth, direct paths for error signals to flow uninterrupted right through the network. And because they keep training so exceptionally stable, they act as the essential backbone for the final GPT architecture. Seriously, when you look at a full diagram of a transformer model and you see all those little arrows curving around the layers, those are your shortcut connections at work. We've successfully mastered layer normalization, activations, feed-forward networks, and now shortcut connections. If one simple line of code changed the entire course of AI history, what other simple math tricks are hiding in plain sight, just waiting to unlock the next generation of models? Ready to build the full transformer block next? Like, share, subscribe to Yurix AI for a new lecture every day. Hit the bell.